Welcome back to SnowRunner, y'all, and today we are going to be taking a look at a brand new, fully console-friendly truck called the 2011 Desperado 2500. Now, this is based on Now, this truck is based on a 2011 Chevy Silverado 2500 HD. Now, this is not a Duramax truck, though. That will kind of separate it from some of the other Chevy mods that you guys may have seen. This is actually based on a gas 2500. So, whether or not you're a fan of the gas-powered 2500 and up trucks, that's the engine that this thing actually runs. Now, I know there's going to be some people out there that are going to say, you know, when it comes to realism, they're going to say, this truck is not realistic at all because it's not vanilla, right? It doesn't come in the vanilla game. And I would argue that you can set this truck up in a very realistic way, depending on how you actually build it, and it's designed more around the grounds of realism than it is around the grounds of being super over the top and just blasting through everything. So it still falls into the vanilla game balance very, very well, and it can also slot into a campaign playthrough without really affecting the game balance all that much, as long as you put the correct engines in it, especially the engines that correspond to different levels of game balance. And if you don't want it to be super duper fast, don't put the top engine in it. You know, same as if you don't want it to be super, super fast, don't put the highway transmission in it. But even if you use the top engine and transmission, it still falls within the speed balance pretty well, I think. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and fire this thing up. We'll get it into the garage, and we'll see what it's all about in terms of customization. It sounds pretty good, too. That sounds really, really good. Let's go ahead and get a quick look at the interior. Love the interior on this thing. Love the dash. I mean, especially for a console-friendly truck, this thing is very, very detailed on the inside. Now, also, the gauges move. If you rev it up, you can see, obviously, and then also, we've got a working speedometer as well. Love the fact that Glitch is doing that on his trucks now. So let's go ahead and pop on into the garage and see what all we can do with this thing's setup. So we start with a stock 5.3, and then he actually gives you horsepower ratings for all of these engines as well. So 330 horsepower, 460 horsepower, 600, and 815. Now, like I said before, even the 815 horsepower engine is still decently well balanced. It's obviously going to be a little bit faster in the top end, but where this engine really matters and where it really comes alive is on that low end torque. It's got a lot of punch to it. So now let's go into the Gearbox Selector. We have the 5-speed box, the 6-speed highway, and the 4-speed off-road. If you would like to have a lot of that power but limit your top speed, totally go with the 4-speed off-road. It's a really good gearbox for that. Now, that's what we're going to do first, and then later on in the video, we'll swap over to the 6-speed when we do the bridge jump. Now, suspension-wise, we got the stock height, lifted tow package, which the lifted tow package is probably my personal favorite option to use in campaign mode and things like that. Then, of course, we've got the 10-inch extreme lift, which is what we're going to start with here. So let's go ahead and run the 10-inch extreme lift, and then you have two different tire size options. You've got a 33, and you've got actually a bunch of tire selections in the 33, and then after you go through that, you have not two size options, you have 33, 35, and then 40. The 40 I would recommend for the 10-inch lift, and the 35 I would recommend for like the 6-inch lift. Now, you can run the 40s on the 6-inch lift though, and it is entirely up to you. The truck does look really, really meaty with the 40-inch tires on the 6-inch lift, I'll tell you that. Now, as we scroll through these, obviously you've got your sort of all-terrain and off-road category tires. Then you've, of course, got your mud tires as well. And then on the bottom, you have these chain tires, which are coated for snow and ice, if that depends to, or if that happens to be, you know, dependent upon where you're using the truck. So let's go with a good mud tire option. I'm thinking the boggers. And then once we got the boggers on there, we'll grab a stage 4 winch, so we really don't have to worry about that. Then we have two different styles of side steps. I prefer style 1, but again, that's entirely up to you guys. LED light bar definitely going up top. Rear bumper, you've got a stock option and a aftermarket option. I'll probably go with the aftermarket option on this build. And then roll bar wise, we've got like a very 80s and even 90s really style roll bar. I'm not going to use it, but it's there if you guys would like to. Now, toolbox wise, this is really cool. We've got an on-bed toolbox and an in-bed toolbox. That entirely depends on what you want to do with the truck. I'm going to use the in-bed toolbox for this build. Now, the snorkel, we're definitely going to put it on there because it's basically essential to SnowRunner gameplay. And the exhaust, you have a angled exhaust and then a straight out the back exhaust. I'm going to go with the angled because I think it looks a little bit better personally, but that's, again, another very personal choice type thing. Front bumper, we've got the stock bumper, the chrome basically brush guard, and then we also have a heavy-duty winch bumper that is also mildly weighted. So we're actually going to go with the stock bumper on this thing because I think it's the best looking personally. And then in terms of wheel selection, you have the FF19, the GWC 10-hole, the Moto, the Cleaver, you have the V2 beadlock, the 8-lug, the V1 beadlock, the Machete, the Process, the Mode. I think on this one, we're going to go a little bit out of the box. We're actually going to run the Cleaver because that's not a wheel I really ever run on any of Glitch's trucks, but the Moto looks good, the Cleaver looks good. It's all entirely up to you in terms of what you want to run on the truck. Now, one of the best things about this truck is that basically every single color looks really, really good. There's no color option for this truck that I would say, oh, that doesn't look great on the truck. I mean, at that point, it's all up to your personal preference anyway. So if you want to run something like green, you might not like green, but someone that likes that shade of green is going to be super happy with it. Same with purple, same with red, same with blue. It's all entirely up to you, and all of the color options look really, really good. I'm going to go with the brighter red on this truck because I think it really pops. But again, that's all up to what you guys decide to do. And I'm sure somebody in the comments is going to be like, oh, of course TC went with red. He always goes with red. And I'm like, not every time. All right, let's go in and fire this thing up and see how it drives. Now, I do love the way it looks, like setup-wise, once you actually get everything put together on it. Now, in terms of trailer towing, this is an interesting point. So, obviously, oh god, I forgot that I had that mod on. So, you've got a couple of, like, wacky trailers that weren't really designed to be towed by this thing, but for the most part, you're going to be towing scout trailers. It's not necessarily a heavy hauling focused vehicle. It's more focused on, you know, if you needed to maybe tow a few things around the map with a off-road scout trailer, you could totally do that, and it's totally up to the task. Even with the non-towing related suspension. So let's say if we were going to throw some hay bales on it, for example, from the new DLC, because this is obviously being recorded on PTS, let's see what this thing is like. I mean, we're not going to tow them all the way around the map, but we will tow them for a little ways. I love this. This is actually a setup that I could totally see being a thing in real life. I mean, look at that. That's an awesome looking setup. I really do love like the whole look of the entire setup. It's a really great looking setup. So now that we're rolling, let me go ahead and get that tools menu out of the way so you guys don't have to look at it. And let's see what this looks like from the interior cam. Obviously, you have fully working mirrors, launching into the river. We've got, wow, we've got plenty of torque to throw it into high right out of the gate. And it's got that really nice scout feel without being too necessarily over the top. Because I know that there are a lot of people that, you know, they won't even touch a certain mod if they see that it's like, you know, that it's capable of going a certain speed. And again, if you want this thing to go slower, you could totally set it up to do that. I mean, that's entirely up to you. You just got to set it up with the correct engine, and if you set it up with the correct engine, you're good. Now, let's see if it'll climb this hill with the trailer in tow. All right, full beans, come on. Oh, no! We high-centered it. Yep. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, not quite. Okay, well, you know what? It was still worth a try. We high-centered it pretty bad, but that's kind of what you get sometimes. All right. I'm not going to worry about the trailer from this point on. I did want to see what it was like towing a trailer, but, I mean, now that we've seen what that's like, we can go ahead and roll it back over, and we'll carry on, and it's no big deal. So let's go ahead and... Wow, that is super easy to roll over, and what the heck? We didn't even end up with any, like, visual damage. I mean, we ended up with a little bit of mud on the truck, but, like, that's not a problem. That'll go away anyway the next time we drive it into a lake. Don't worry about it. It's fine. All right, now, as we make our way down into the mud pits, let's see what this thing feels like down here. Now, usually Glitch's trucks are a little bit closer to vanilla balance in mud, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get stuck on mud lane 1, maybe 2, but we'll try it high first, then we'll go into automatic, and then we'll go into low. Yo, it shredded through the first lane in freaking high range. What about high range in the second lane? The second lane is pretty brutal. Okay, high range is giving up. What about automatic? Automatic is starting to be a little bit iffy as well. Low seems like it's getting along pretty okay. It's not too bad. Keeping it right around about 1,000 RPM. Let's see. You got freaking Beans chilling out up there on the dash. How you doing, bud? Oh my god! I did not expect that horn. I did not expect that horn at all. Listen to that again. Haha, that's so sick. That's amazing. Dude, you absolutely need that horn in this thing. I mean, you don't need it, but my God, is it amazing to have it. I love that. That is so good. All right, let's see what we can do in the dips obstacle. Now, seeing as this is the tallest setup that you would be able to run on this truck, it's entirely like as well set up as it could be for an obstacle like this. Let's make our way on through. It's not bad. I mean, obviously it's not going to be any kind of rock crawler, but, you know, for an IFS truck on a freaking 10-inch lift, it's not a bad amount of flex. You gotta admit, it's not a bad amount of flex at all, because most trucks like this on a freaking 10-inch IFS lift, they ain't gonna flex out much at all, and they're not gonna be all that useful in a lot of off-road situations. So the fact that this has been set up to still be useful and yet, you know, be IFS in the front, I mean, it's actually really nice. It's really refreshing to see a truck like this that is still, you know, really realistically usable, but at the same time not, you know, not so underpowered that it's like it's not able to go anywhere, but also it's not quite overpowered, you know? Now, obviously, everybody's definition of overpowered in this game seems to be a little bit different, but again, I think this truck strikes a really nice balance right in the middle and does a really good job at it in general. So let's throw the highway box in it now. The highway box is gonna rip. It's absolutely gonna rip like crazy. So this will be a great way to test it out and see how fast it is and how it handles on the pavement on our way up to the bridge jump. And actually, oop, you know, through this little mini slalom, you're fine until you get up to about 5th gear on the pavement. And then once you're in 5th gear, as we literally just saw, it doesn't turn. So once you're up to 5th gear and you're literally not able to turn anymore, it's kind of a easy. Sheesh, bud. Let's not go smashing into every single tree while we're at it. Good Lord. All right, give it a quick little repair and fully send it. Come on. Oh, go, 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 go. That's 70. Come on. Come on. Oh, God, I can't see it anymore. Got to be going somewhere around 80. Oop. Literally. All right. So the truck is a lowrider now, and we've acquired a barrel and subsequently disposed of said barrel. But, I mean, the truck handled it amazingly well, aside from the fuel tank and the suspension completely disintegrating themselves, which again goes back to the level of damage that Glitchworks usually builds into his mods on a little bit more of a realistic level. But at the end of the day, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, let me know your thoughts and opinions on this thing in the comments below. And if you're new around here and you would like to see more, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn those notifications on, and I will see you guys next time.